Many stories pass from one person to another until they begin to sound like unquestionable truths. We hear that mixing salt with urine reveals hidden mysteries, predicts health, or creates extraordinary chemical reactions. Curiosity is natural, but wisdom invites us to observe carefully rather than accept every claim without examination. The path to understanding begins not with belief or disbelief, but with patient observation. When we look at the world with a calm mind, we discover that every event has a cause. Nothing appears without conditions. A seed grows because of soil, water, sunlight, and time. A cloud forms because of temperature and moisture. In the same way, any change that occurs when salt is mixed with urine has understandable physical and chemical causes. There is no need to decorate ordinary events with unnecessary mystery, when reality itself is already fascinating. Urine is mostly water, but it also contains dissolved substances such as urea, sodium, potassium, chloride, creatinine, and many other compounds produced by the body's natural processes. Salt, commonly known as sodium chloride, is itself a simple chemical compound. When these two substances meet, they interact according to the laws of chemistry, not according to myth or hidden forces. If someone mixes salt into a fresh sample of urine, the salt begins to dissolve if the liquid can still hold more dissolved material. If too much salt is added, some grains remain undissolved because the liquid has reached its limit. This is not unusual. It is simply the point at which the solution becomes saturated. What appears mysterious is often only a process we have not yet taken the time to understand. If the mixture is left for many hours or an entire day, changes may become visible. Water slowly evaporates. If the container is open, as the water level decreases, the concentration of dissolved substances increases. Eventually, tiny crystals may begin to form. These crystals are not signs of magic or secret messages. They are the natural result of dissolved minerals, reaching the point where they can no longer remain in solution. Many ideas spread from person to person until they are accepted as truth, without anyone stopping to ask whether they are supported by evidence. This is especially true when an ordinary event is surrounded by mystery. The reaction between salt and urine has often been described with exaggerated claims, leading some people to believe it reveals hidden secrets or extraordinary powers. A wiser approach is neither to believe every story nor to reject every possibility immediately. Instead, it is to observe carefully, ask thoughtful questions, and allow facts to guide understanding. A calm and patient mind sees more clearly than one driven by excitement or fear. When we observe without rushing to conclusions, we begin to notice details that would otherwise be overlooked. Every change has a reason, and every result has a cause waiting to be understood. Seek truth through observation, not assumption. Many beliefs about salt and urine are based on myths or speculation. The best way to understand any phenomenon is through careful observation, evidence, and an open mind, rather than accepting claims. When salt is mixed with urine, the changes that occur are governed by the natural laws of chemistry, rather than mystery or superstition. Urine is made up mostly of water, but it also contains dissolved substances such as urea, sodium, potassium, chloride, creatinine, and other minerals produced by the body's normal metabolic processes. Salt, which is sodium chloride, dissolves into its ions when added to the liquid, provided the solution has not reached its saturation point. If too much salt is added, some crystals may remain at the bottom because the liquid cannot dissolve anymore. As time passes, especially if the container is left uncovered, water slowly evaporates into the air. This increases the concentration of the dissolved substances, allowing crystals or deposits to form naturally. Temperature, humidity, and the amount of salt added all influence the speed and appearance of these changes. None of these reactions are magical or unusual. They are predictable results of physical and chemical principles. By observing these processes carefully, understand the science behind the reaction salt and urine interact according to the natural laws of chemistry. Dissolving, saturation, evaporation, and crystal formation are normal scientific processes that explain the visible changes over time. Every result we observe in a simple experiment is shaped by a network of conditions working together. When salt is mixed with urine, the outcome does not depend on a single factor, but on many variables that influence one another. The amount of salt added, the concentration of minerals already present in the urine, the temperature of the room, the humidity of the air, the type of container used, and the length of time the mixture is left undisturbed, all contribute to what eventually happens. A warmer environment may speed up evaporation, while a cooler one slows it down. A tightly sealed container will produce different results than an open one because less water escapes into the air. Even two samples that appear similar at first may behave differently because their chemical compositions are not exactly the same. This teaches a lesson that extends beyond the experiment itself. In nature, nothing exists in complete isolation. Every event is connected to the circumstances that surround it. Everything changes because of conditions. The outcome of the experiment depends on factors such as the amount of salt, the composition of the urine, temperature, humidity, and time. Every result has causes and conditions that shape it. The simple observation of salt and urine can teach a lesson that reaches far beyond chemistry. Just as every visible reaction has understandable causes, many experiences in human life also arise from conditions that are not immediately obvious. Joy, sadness, patience, frustration, confidence, and fear do not appear without reason. They develop through habits, experiences, surroundings, and the choices we make each day. When we understand that every outcome has contributing factors, we become less eager to judge ourselves or others based on a single moment. A person's behavior is often the result of many influences that cannot be seen at first glance. Plants apply the lesson beyond the experiment. Just as chemical reactions have understandable causes, human emotions, habits, and life experiences also arise from conditions. Looking beyond appearances helps us develop greater wisdom, patience, and understanding. Cultivate curiosity with humility. Simple experiments remind us to question respectfully, test ideas carefully, and accept evidence wherever it leads. True learning comes from combining scientific inquiry with a calm, thoughtful, and open-minded attitude. True learning begins with curiosity, but it grows stronger when it is guided by humility. Curiosity encourages us to ask questions, explore new ideas, and investigate the world around us. Humility reminds us that we do not already know everything, and that our first assumptions may be incomplete or even incorrect. When observing an experiment such as mixing salt and urine, the goal should not be to prove a belief, but to discover what actually happens. A thoughtful observer watches patiently, records changes, see